Hello, I'm Ed Rabyd, otherwise known as the Rabyd Atheist, a former pastor turned atheist, now compassionate anti-theist. Welcome to my channel. You're free to like or dislike the video as you see fit, so feel free to hit those buttons. Feel free to comment below, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell for more content as it is released. You're also free to share my videos as much as you like. The purpose of this channel is education in the areas of deconversion, atheism, and biblical studies and theology as it meets real life from an atheist perspective and a skeptic's perspective. I'm doing this video and I do want to apologize first of all for not having a video on Monday. Mostly I was way too busy this weekend. There just wasn't a good time to record. I try to record when there's nobody in the apartment, so it's kind of one of those things that I wait until I have that moment to do that. Like right now, I'm home from work. My wife won't be home for another couple hours, so I have time to record a video and edit it and do some things with it, which I don't do much as far as editing. But today is also, I know most people have been enjoying my Life of Christ series. It's been a good discussion starter. I'm going to continue on that. But I'm also kind of trying to make some changes in my life. Just so you're aware, I have certain times of the year that are very depressing to me because of the events that correspond with them. Thankfully, this year has been a lot better, mostly because I got to speak to the freethinkers, which kind of counterbalanced a very dramatic and very depressing event in my life in early August from a couple years ago. And so it was kind of counterbalanced, but I still struggled with it. My depression is very mild, but it does affect my personal relationships quite a bit. It's why also that I don't make friends easily. So it's, I'm kind of confessing a few things so you'll understand where I'm coming from. I have developed over the years multiple ways of battling that. One of those ways is weightlifting. I have enjoyed weightlifting for years, and one of the positive events of weightlifting has been that it helps me fight my depression quite a bit. I love to walk when I get a chance to do it. I haven't had a chance to hike in like months, and I really need to get back to that in some ways and shapes and forms. Probably just a short walk on some days off. There are these what I call tools in my shed to help me battle my depression, and those are two of them. Another one is writing. And for years, I have had blog after blog after blog. My recent blog was called The Great Wayfarer. I have put that on hiatus. I haven't wrote on that since May 20th of this year. And in large part, I was focusing more on the YouTube channel. And then I also my writing became forced. And there's this tension that I have when I write. On the one hand, I want it to be from a spirit of creativity. On the other hand, I also kind of push myself to write. I had a streak of posts that ran, I don't remember, 500, 600 days, where I posted every day. And that was good for me in the sense that it forced me to write and do some things. But at the same time, near the end, I'm like, man, I'm just kind of making shit up that I don't really feel very strongly about. And when you kind of lose that passion. So I went on hiatus mostly because I'm facing a lot of issues. I have a lot of depressive episodes from the end of May and, part different. And of course, at the beginning of August, just for the record, I also have another one in early October with my father's death. These are all things that kind of trigger it. And if I have all the tools in my shed to battle, the quarantine took away weightlifting for a while, and that was difficult. I probably should just substitute walking, but it just depressed me enough. I really enjoy it. I wasn't writing. I was writing at the beginning of it, but then I just stopped because it just became difficult on a lot of levels. I also have enjoyed speaking. There's a few personal things that I do that I'm not going to bore you with that also help me battle my depression. But one of the things has been writing. Now, I want to talk about this because there's two things I want to address today. And if you've stayed through my ramblings this long, I appreciate it. One is my writing and getting back to it, which I am seriously considering reopening the Gray Wayfarer somewhere in early September, maybe September 1st at the earliest, maybe a little bit later. I may wait till the first full week of September to launch that. But my idea is to get my blogging back up so I have my journal posts in front of me, because the journal posts are what keep me focused on my goals, keep me focused on my bucket list, they keep me focused on the virtues that I'm trying to emulate in my life. And so those keep me on track. I have a hard time doing a private journal. I don't know why. I just don't. I've never been able to do it. I can do it for like a couple days and then I just forget it and don't do it. Blogging and actually posting something publicly, I always have been able to do. So that's going to be there. So I have recognized in the last few months that this has really taken a detrimental toll on me staying focused on what my objectives are. And it's, caused a lot of procrastination, a lot of things like that. So I'm going to try to get my blog going mostly for my own sake. But, if you're interested in that sort of thing, the Gray Wayfarer is the name. It is a WordPress blog, and you're more than welcome to come along and subscribe and comment and do the things you do. Yeah, half of it's going to be boring me talking about where my life is and what I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to try to break it up into much smaller posts, shorter posts that are 300 to 500 words long instead of the normal 1,000 words I would do every day. Mostly because I can use a very quick, small template for that and just write real quickly what's going on in my life, maybe with each virtue plus the higher virtues of love and wisdom and justice. So those things I'll continue to discuss, and that'll be a 4-week thing if I do that like every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever. And then, of course, go back to some of my other posts, but shorten them as well, make them a little bit more bite-sized blogs. I think that also causes blogs to grow when you don't write such long pieces. When you're in that 300 to 500 word range, people can quickly zap it, read it, and say, hey, yeah, I really like that. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Most of that is just trying to get myself back on track and get myself focused. I've already done some things personally to get myself there. The other thing I want to ask for those of you watching my channel is, and I put this question out I think I put this out a couple months ago, what would you like to see me do? I mean, I always leave it open for suggestions and questions. I do take your suggestions seriously. The question I have is, what is it you have enjoyed the most? And I think the thing is, the way this YouTube channel has gone so far is that I will post Life of Christ stuff. People will make comments, and then I'll interact with those comments. Or I'll post some video on something else, or people react to something I say in a Friday video, and then the next Friday video becomes more of a continuing discussion. If that's all right with you, just let me know that. I know right now I think I have 38 followers, 38 subscribers. So, I know I keep gaining new ones every week. There's not a week that hasn't gone by where I haven't gotten at least one. So at that rate, I'll have 100 in a couple of years. But, my issue is making content and talking about things that you're actually interested in. I had one guy that when I was talking about one of the arguments for the existence of God, and Pascal's wager, and he said, "Are you going to address other philosophical?" I said, "My problem with addressing arguments for God is that's been done. I mean, nearly every major atheist YouTuber has addressed the arguments for the existence of God, and all I'd really be doing is repeating most of what they say. I have my own issues with the existence of God, of course, but most of the arguments for the existence of God I had problems when I was a believer. And most of the time I would just say, well, taking all the arguments together, they all have their merits. Maybe there's something to be said for the existence of God. I could never sit there and tell you, yeah, the existence of God is proven. So, and of course, the biblical God, he over time, the more I studied him, the more I realized what an asshole he was. And really how much of when you look at the biblical God, he's very much justifying all the bad things and behavior in the name of truth and religion and serving God. Humanity commits a genocide. Well, I did it in the name of my faith. yeah, that's not a really good reason for me anymore. You need to try to prove your faith. So there's that. So I want, I guess, what do you want to see? What do you want to hear? Is there any subject that you would like to see addressed in a series? Because what I'm thinking of doing is on Mondays, kind of doing things that you request to a certain point. I'm going to have to, some things I'll have to research and it may take some time. And then Wednesdays doing a Life of Christ video. And then, of course, continuing the Friday videos to respond to those. I'm also going to try to make the effort that whenever I have time to do the Monday and Wednesday videos in particular, if I've got a 3-hour slot someday where I know nobody's going to be home, I may do both videos. The only thing I don't like about that is I still like to be a little bit timely, and that's not always possible when you do that. So that's kind of where I'm at. I just wanted to let you know that I'm kind of going back to writing again. I don't know how this will affect the YouTube channel. I know that usually I did that writing in the early morning when I first get up to kind of set the tone for my day. And then I would go forward with that. And then I would move on to other things. And I think probably what's going to happen here is, and then when I'm going to do that every day again to kind of get my life back on track, get myself more focused and less procrastinating about the things I need to be doing. And then also, doing this YouTube channel where I do 2 videos for the week, maybe ahead of time, and then post them on Monday and Wednesday. And then Friday, close to Friday, either a Thursday or Friday, I will do a Friday video to address comments. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate all of you. And hopefully someday I can convince all the rest of you to be rabid atheists like myself. In the meantime, this is Rabyd, the Rabid Atheist, signing off and wishing you a good day.